Hey there, gang. This is White Panther coming to you from Tucson, Arizona with episode 12 of Volume 1 of our video series Inside the Panther's Lair. May not seem quite my usual jovial self when it comes to discussing the background on this particular song. It was written when things were a little stressful. I had gotten some news that was not so great. How do I say this and not get myself in trouble? Probably can't, so I'm just going to go right ahead and spill the beans on the background here. My relationship with my daughter had been strained, to say the least, for probably a good year or two prior to my writing this song. My relationship with my ex-wife, who anyone who knows me knows that this is not a joke. And I will, before I go any further, I will apologize at least to one particular individual, my son Frank. I know he doesn't necessarily like to hear things along these lines, but when I started doing this video series, I was going to try to be as upfront and honest and casual and conversational about the backgrounds of some of the songs. I really tried over the course of the years not to get the children involved in the issues surrounding the relationship I had with my ex-wife, their mom. My daughter had been having some problems, and I did not realize just how severe the problems were until well after the fact, and I will go briefly, very, very briefly, into that situation. But for one reason or another, I was on the phone with my ex-wife, who I affectionately refer to as Satan. And yes, I'm being kind. And she mentioned that, when talking with my daughter, that she just kept looking at her and saying, do you remember back when I was 5 years old? Everything was so good, everything was so easy. And my daughter was 5 years old when my ex and I split up. And there was something about hearing that just sent a flurry of memories running through my head. And in an attempt to try to let my daughter know that even though I wasn't there to be there with her, that my heart was there with her, I wrote this simple little song about what it was like and how easy things were back when I was 5, back when any of us were 5 years old. We really didn't have much of a care in the world. I will not, you can probably see the cogs turning in my head. I will not go into all of the specifics of what happened prior to my having that conversation with my ex, but my daughter did wind up in the hospital. My ex neglected to tell me all of the details. When I did find out the details, she refused to allow me access to speak with my daughter's doctors or with the facility that was caring for her. There's a special corner in hell waiting for her for doing what she did, for using the children the way that she did, and knowing what my daughter was going through and keeping me from her. I'm a firm believer that everyone gets exactly what they have coming to them. And my ex will get hers. Anyway, enough of that. Sounds like an awful serious background for a song that's not quite that somber. But anyway, this song, like Back When I Was Five, is about remembering a simpler time when life was easy and fun. And this was the second song on my first demo CD that I wrote for my daughter. There's another one coming up, which was actually the first one I wrote. But even though the relationship has been strained, even though things haven't quite been where they should be, there's always going to be a part of your heart that you can't close, you can't shut down to your children, no matter what the circumstance. So that all having been said, I most sincerely hope that my little rant here hasn't put too many of you off. But again, if I'm going to do this and give you all the background, I need to be honest, no matter how rough it may be. So that having been said, once again, as always, this is White Panther asking you to keep music in your hearts, and may God bless you all.
Was a time, not so long ago it seems, when the simple happy things were not restricted to my dreams. A time for me when I could pass the hours of play, and the worries of the world, they all seem so far away. As long as I'm alive, my hopes will still survive, like back when I was 5. Right now it seems so hard to battle every day and mold myself into something as if I were a piece of clay. Only it was all just that easy to do. I would simply make it so, for me and for you too. As long as I'm alive, my hopes will still survive, like back when I was 5. The sweetness of our youth, it doesn't last. I long for the Januaries through Decembers, the way they used to be in my past. There once was a time, not so long ago it seems, when the simple happy things were not restricted to my dreams. A time for me when I could pass the hours of play, and the worries of the world, they all seem so far away. As long as we're alive, our hope should still survive.